You don't feel ready because you keep waiting for readiness to arrive. It's kind of become a slogan for me in my life. This whole entire quotation I'll never forget, in which I said in a very humble moment, right as I was about to leave my family for the first time ever, sometimes I don't feel ready, but I know the Lord will provide a way. Close quote. Sounds cool when you say it like that, So I figured I might as well add it. Now here's the truth. You want to do this well. I know that. There isn't a single one of us who want to fail, right? We all want to do well at this one thing. But most importantly, you don't want to fail again. And it might have been a completely unrelated thing that you failed at, but you're afraid of failure. It's totally natural. It's actually hardwired into our brain to be afraid of failure. But here's the thing. It's not because you failed at a business model. Your brain is wired that way because you almost got yourself killed by a tiger, right? Very different situation, and unfortunately, we haven't quite adapted for that yet. Now, if you let fear rule your life, it will. For example, let's talk about people with social anxiety. Okay, there's a study done, and actually, this is just a standard fact. I'm sure there's a lot of people who kind of face these same things who could confirm the exact point I'm about to talk about. And that is, say for example, someone with social anxiety needs to go shopping and they go into Walmart, but it just so happens that they went at a bad time. Everybody's there. Of course, they're starting to get a little bit nervous. They get a little afraid, and so they turn around, leave the store, get in their car, go home. Okay. Well, obviously they didn't pick up their groceries. So they got to go back. They decide they'll go back the next day when it's a little bit less busy. They pull into the parking lot, and it's just how they're wired. They pull up into the parking lot, and then they are reminded of the day before. It's like the amygdala, the whole limbic system, that is the survival part of your brain. It's like working double time. And suddenly they get a little nervous, and because they've got a little bit of social anxiety, which, mind you, let's keep in mind this idea of anxiety. Anxiety is just the focus on the future. Depression is the focus on the past. So because they're so focused on the future rather than what's happening right now, and they're kind of remembering the past and basing that off of what they assume might be the future, a little paradox, they get scared and they leave. This time they didn't even get out of their car. They were in the parking lot. Well, guess what happens the next day? And believe it or not, people with social anxiety, people who don't have social anxiety, are not too different in this way. The next day, he knows he's got to go get his groceries. Only this time, feelings, the thoughts, they're all still there. He doesn't even get in his car. And sure enough, this keeps building up and digressing and just eating away at him over and over and over again until he's an absolute madman lunatic and he won't even leave his bedroom, sometimes even his bed. And this is the exact truth. That's exactly what happens. And we do the same things. Maybe not on the same level, but we definitely do. Specifically, when the option is safe, when it doesn't feel like it'll have that much of an impact, when you don't have to do it, that's when it's easiest to become afraid of things. And so just by not acting upon or not committing to something, not making that mental decision right beforehand, I am going to make it to point B, if it's the last thing I do, we actually limit our ability to do more. Keep that in mind. Be afraid of that. Now, readiness is a feeling. Understand that. Truth is a decision, just like what I talked about. It's the decision. But the only problem is waiting for one delays the other. The lie says preparation comes first, and it will always say that. I need to be ready. I need to have the right materials. It needs to be the right time. It needs to be the right weather. I need to be wearing the right clothes. I've got to have the right hair day. I got to blah, 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 blah. Everything has to work out for what? But none of that even matters, does it? Not as much as the action does. Just the first step matters. Just 15 minutes of the practice. So yeah, the lie says preparation comes first, but in all reality, honesty does. So now say it out loud. This is your commitment. I always say this is kind of like your pit stop in the race. If you've been driving for a long time, you are definitely not going any further without a little bit of fix-ups, okay? Because you are looking damaged, right? This is your quick fix. Listen to this. One commitment. If you can follow this, I promise you'll be ready for this next leg of the race. And that is, I want you to say it out loud. Say it out loud. Our brains are really interesting. I've talked a lot about psychology on my channel here, and our brains are interesting because when we say things verbally, our brain doesn't recognize them. It's kind of funny, a little glitch in the matrix. It doesn't totally recognize it as our own thought. The logical thinking side of the brain is like, oh, okay, right? That's convincing enough, whether the thought is negative or positive, or if it's just a statement. Yeah, you might know it came from you, but your logical side is not very smart sometimes. And so by yourself, out loud, tell the truth you've been postponing. What is the truth you've been postponing? What's the truth about all this that you've been postponing the whole entire time? Don't plan, Don't journal, just say it. And then see what happens next. It's all psychology. Promise you, you are ready for the next part of the race. If you can just do that, watch what happens. And then comment down below and you can say, hey, Gabe, you are a freaking genius. Anyways, my name is Gabriel Bowman. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And also hit that bell icon so you don't miss any of my future videos. I'm posting 3 times a week and I don't want you to miss a single one. You're going to love it. Anyways, how are you going to drive the rest of this race if you ain't hitting a pit stop every once in a while anyways? Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Love you. Bye.